Well, hello, Stampers. It's the Pampered Stamper, and happy Tuesday. That means it is time for my Sweet Sweet Tuesdays, where we are talking about a sweet. And this sweet is actually not a sweet, it's just a bundle. But I love the sound of Sweet Sweet Tuesdays, and I'm thinking there'll be lots of other sweets that I can focus on. But this month, the sweet is Timeless Arrangements. And I'm giving you 20% cash back when you order in July. And the first 10 people who order also get a 3-card kit in the mail. So I'm pretty excited about that. But I'm even more excited to show projects with this fantastic bundle all month long. And today is Tuesday, July 18th. Tomorrow, Stampin' Up! Is offering 15% off all stamp sets in the annual catalog. So that's really exciting news. I hope you take advantage of that. But let's take a look. And by popular demand, I am going to be doing a card today with embossing paste. So this is the Timeless Arrangements, and I'll show you the dies that I'm using with it. There are more in there. I'm going to be using this one, this one, this one, there. So 4 dies is what I'm going to be using. I was debating using this one, but I think I'll use that next time. So here are the rest of the dies that go with this set. So there's lots of dies to choose from and a ton of stamps. Okay, so to make this card, I've done the die cutting ahead of time. Okay, so I'm just going to move that out of the way. We are going to be using a retired mask. You can't get this one anymore, but I don't have the new ones, and I'm going to show you. You know, even as demonstrators, we can't afford to buy everything in the catalog. So here on the top corner, you're forgiven if you've overlooked this. Here are the different masks that they have. So there's 4 here, and then there's 4 here. And so here you can see the palette knives that we're going to use, the embossing paste, and then there's the decorative masks. So I have a European catalog here because I am a Canadian living in the Netherlands. I married a Dutchman, and I actually have the unique opportunity of being a demonstrator in both Canada and in the Netherlands. And it gets super complicated. So my married name is Jackie van der Sar Boot, but my demonstrator name is still Jackie Bolcha because it takes a while to get all the paperwork and all the official documents changed over. So for now, I'm just leaving it the way it is. And I just go by the Pampered Stamper, and that's why I often forget to introduce myself with my name. However, let's get started. You didn't come here just to listen to me. So I'm going to use a silicone mat. I'm using this palette knife. It comes with 2 other ones if you want to do more detailed, intricate work. And embossing paste. I keep your embossing paste in the bag, and then that way it's sealed and it won't dry out. And here you can see it says embossing paste. And then I even leave the little foil thing on top. You can see the bottom of my pot now. I have had a lot of fun with this. Now, I had a question, and the question was, do I use thick cardstock as a for the base? And the answer is no. For my card, I do, but not for the layer. So I have a layer here, and it's going to be 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, or it's 10 centimeters by 14.85. No, 14.35. Okay. So we're just going to lay that on my silicone mat. Actually, you know what? The silicone mat isn't quite big enough. I want to use a piece of grid paper because it can get messy. Okay, so I'm going to put my piece of grid paper underneath. I still have the silicone mat. Now I'm going to lay this down. And what I'm going to do is I don't want to cover up my whole card. I want it to show that there's what it looked like before the embossing paste. So we take our embossing paste. We're going to take our palette knife and just take about so much. You can see? It's about as much jam as you'd put on a piece of toast. And now you're just going to carefully spread it over. I'm going across the whole top of my card. And then here's where I'm going to just leave this bottom triangle plain. It doesn't have to be perfectly even. The thicker you put your embossing paste on, the longer it takes to dry. Someone asked if you could do this on a wall. I think so. But I think that you might need a different type of embossing paste to leave it on a wall. There. I guess I could try it here because we're moving out of this house anyway. I should try it on the wall and let you know how it does. So now I'm going to carefully lift it up. I'm going to hold on to it underneath, and I'm just lifting it up. There. And now I'm going to pause my video because it's super important to right away clean your mask, clean your palette knife, and anything else. I'm going to clean my silicone mat. Now, silicone mat doesn't matter so much because you can clean that later. It's a great tool to add to your repertoire. Now, before I forget, I want to show you something else you can do with that same mask. So we've used the mask now with embossing paste. I cleaned my mask, and I have another piece of white cardstock, and I'm just going to put this here on my grid paper. And here's the mask. Again, I'm laying it on top, and I'm going to use a blending brush and Pool Party. And I'm going to use the mask with some ink. I'm just taking, it's kind of off camera. So just tap, tap, tap. And then I'm just going to brush this ink on, and I just run it along the corner. I'm kind of echoing the shape of the mask on the front. And I'm just running a little bit here. And then I'm just going to keep going so that it gets a bit of an ombre effect. Now, are we ready for the big reveal? Look at that. Isn't that so pretty? So the mask, this is a great little investment. Now, I'm going to be totally honest with you. The reason I didn't buy the masks in the new catalog is because there was only one out of the three that I really, really loved. And I thought, oh, yeah. And maybe I'll change my mind. Maybe I'll see some other cards. I'm just not that much of a geometric person, and they were all very geometric. So I'm just biding my time, and I'll get there. I'll get there. Okay, so we're going to put this away, and now we're going to make our card. So here we have it. I made an extra one of these this morning because this will take a couple of hours to dry. So what I'm going to do, we're going to put this on our card front, and then we're going to decorate it. Oh, and guess what I forgot to do? I forgot to put the lid on my embossing paste. So I'm just going to put the foil on first, and then the lid if I can find it, and then it's going to go back in the bag so that it will stay as good as the day it was bought. Now you're going to see, if you look on here, you'll see a little bit of a bump here, and that's because when I lifted my mask off, I pulled it too far and it caught a little bit. But I don't mind the look of that. I think it's really nice when you see the different textures so that you can see that this was something that's been created by hand. So I'm going to use some liquid adhesive. And when this card is done, I will put something heavy on top of it, a few punches or something, because it does tend to curve just a little bit. Because of course embossing paste is wet. And when it dries, it shrinks a little bit. So that's normal. Don't worry about that. After you put it underneath something, it will be just beautiful. So now we're going to lay it down, and it lasts really well. The stuff doesn't crumble off afterwards. You don't end up with a messy card. It's not like children's art or Play-Doh from school. There. And now before I do anything else, I'm going to tie a piece of ribbon around it. This is Lost Lagoon, and I love it. It reminds me of linen. And what is it actually called? It's called bordered ribbon. That's it. So I'm going to just tie it around. So you want to make sure it stays flat. And then I'm just going to look at the back of my card again. Yes, you don't want that twisted. So I'm going to just tie it in a knot at the top. My hands have a little bit of embossing paste on them yet. That's not so good. So lay it flat. Tie it nice and tight. Our cardstock is strong. It can handle a nice tight pull. There, and I'm going to have to waste a little bit. That's unfortunate. So I'm going to trim that. There's my scissors. Like so. And then I will, believe it or not, save the little piece that I trimmed off, because this piece can go in behind a border and it'll look just beautiful. So you will use that. I have a little pot that I keep my little ribbon bits in. You just never know what you're going to use it for. Now I'm going to slide this over this way. And it's really funny because I did this opposite. I'm going to show you the finished card. Here's the finished card. And look, I still have that open spot, but it's just going the other way now. Okay. So I'm going to leave that like so. Maybe move it a little bit more. There. It looks like it's twisted, but it's not. There. We're going to leave that. And now I'm going to grab all my pieces. I have them all here. And I want to stamp in teal. I just have to decide what I'm going to stamp. That's always the hard thing. I have to decide which sentiment to use. So I think I'm going to put down, your kindness means everything to me. And I have a story to tell you about that. I have a lovely hairdresser. Her name is Mary. And she has another passion, and that's like restoring and refinishing furniture. She loves to go thrift shopping and buying old pieces of furniture and then giving them a new lease on life with a coat of paint or whatever. So she has all these amazing magazines. But I don't know if you've checked lately. Magazines are expensive. And Gerard and I want to add we can't renovate our house right now, but we want to try to add a few little touches and stuff. So Gerard says, well, why don't we go for a day trip and just go looking around a little bit for inspiration? We're not going to buy anything, but we just want to look. And I was kind of looking online, but it was like a needle in a haystack. So I asked if I could borrow some of her magazines. So she gave me a whole bag of magazines to look through, and I was so touched that I gave her a card with a little note inside. And she said that card meant so much to me. She said it really touched me deeply, and I thought that is the beauty of a handmade card with a note in it from the heart. And so I invited her to come with a friend to have a private workshop. So if you ever want to do that, please let me know, because that's what it's all about. I love, here, I'm going to copy my own card now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the white pieces. So we're going to just put a little bit of adhesive on that strip. And these dies are made in such a way that it's easy to create a timeless arrangement, which is what this set is called. There. So first the white, and then I've got another one going down. So, and anyway, I just thought it made me really happy. There. So now we have the two white ones. And then we're going to do this one in Lost Lagoon. That picks up the color of the ribbon. I wanted the card to be mostly white, but I wanted a touch of Lost Lagoon there. And you can see that the way these dies are made, that they kind of stagger each other, so it makes it super easy to make a really pretty card. Okay, so now we're going to use Pool Party, which is the same color as the base of the card. And it's just lovely the way these just make up something so pretty without any work, like very, very little work. I mean, you have to crank these through the die cutting machine, but really that's not a big deal. If you don't have one yet, that's an amazing tool to have there. I always think that if you're starting with this hobby, now I just see a hole down here, and I'm going to put this Pool Party piece down here. The best way to get started in this hobby is to buy the starter kit, because then you get more. So you get to pick $165 and pay only $135. There's no shipping, there's no tax. And after that, you get a 20% discount on everything you buy. And you'll have at least 4 months to take advantage. See, isn't that just a beautiful bouquet? I quite love it. So now we're going to flip this over. And this is what it looks like from the back. And we're going to put some dimensionals on either side because we want to straddle the ribbon. So yes, ask me about the starter kit opportunity. I really have to do a blog post about it. I realize I take way too much stuff for granted that people don't know about yet and that I haven't talked about. So that's going to happen here. People ask me what I do for a living. It's not making cards. I do make cards, but I don't sell them. I teach card making and I sell card making supplies there. See, so the one dimensional is on that side of the ribbon and the other one is on this side. And now I just want to add another little piece of, creativity there. And I'm not sure if I'm going to take apart this ribbon, or I had some silver ribbon, but I can't find it. So this is the silver cord. It comes in a pack with silver and gold, and I could tie a bow around it, and I'm going to so that I can show you the difference. So I've just looped it underneath, and now I'm tying it like so. There. So we're going to have a look and see what we think of that. I'm going to trim it. And then I'm going to show you what I did on the original. So this just came in my last order with the truck punch. But the last time when I made this sample card, I didn't have that silver cord. So I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see it. And I need to have more light on here. There. Oh my goodness. I hope that is bright for you. Okay. Look. So do you see what the difference is? This looks more delicate, and this is more kind of boom. This one has a little bit more texture. See how the ends are frayed? So you just have to do what you like the best. But you're probably wondering, how did I get this? Yes, that is also a Stampin' Up! Product. And what I did was I took this ribbon, which is called silver. It says silver. No, it's called Metallic Edge Cotton Ribbon. I just want that metallic edge. So I'm just going to grab it. There. Now I've got the edge and a few other threads, and you just pull. There. Now I have this beautiful ethereal piece, and I like it a lot. I'm going to add it. I'm taking this one off, if I can. It will have another purpose, but I really love this. And I'm just going to lift that up, slide this underneath. It's a little tricky. There we go. And then I'm going to pull this up there. And it's not quite long enough, so I'm just going to pull. It's not quite here. There. And I don't like to cut it till I know that I have enough. I'm just going to turn this upside down for a minute, or sideways. And I want this to be big enough to make a loop. There. That should be good. And so when you're tying, you just have to angle your project so that you're comfortable with it. Here. There. It's good. I can trim this. And I like the fact that it's all loosey-goosey. Like that. I can just, there. Isn't that pretty? I love the textures on it. And now I'm going to just put this in the inside. And then we have a card that just really looks pretty. And I like that this ribbon is in the inside. That looks nice too. Okay, a little bit of adhesive, and then we're good to go. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. It makes me really happy. It also lets YouTube know that I am a leader in my industry, and then I will get more views, that I actually know what I'm talking about. And I appreciate every one of you. Don't forget about the big sale tomorrow, 15% off all the stamps. And yeah, I hope you choose me as your demonstrator. All right, let's zoom out. And there you go. I hope you have a lot of fun with embossing paste. Maybe you can add an embossing paste and some palette knives to your order. I just read in the Stampin' Up! Catalog that you can add dye to your embossing paste. So since I'm almost through, I mean, I love it white, but I'm going to add a few drops of reinker and then do something with some colored embossing paste. So maybe we'll do that next week. All right. Well, thanks again. I'm really happy that I can do this. I'm so glad that I get to stamp and create and call it my job. Have a super day. Bye.